If the phone falls, I apologize. Facebook still won't let me do it in landscape, and my thing is not set to hold it like this. So, 1, Facebook, you're on my list. And 2, Rosalind Carter has passed, and my only comment about that is that Jimmy Carter is truly a gentleman because he waited for his wife to go first. So I expect in the next few that soon Jimmy Carter will also make his transition, because I think he was waiting for her. So, all right. It is November 20th. Our title is Our Divinity. Our author is Grace L. Faus, published in Aspire in 1958. And this is from the Divine Science Federation. Okay, so Our Divinity. We are only now beginning to understand what is meant by the divinity of people. At last, we are recognizing a divine plan, a divine power, a divine seed of perfection in every living being. The Christ in us, the power of God, the Spirit. Jesus was able to realize this principle and express it, and to become it in such a way that he was able to do absolutely God's will. He gave up the human side of life to express the divine. Thus, he attained the degree of recognition of that developed consciousness. He became Jesus the Christ. Jesus attained the consciousness that permitted him to perform the work of God on earth in and through a human body, and he became the Christ. Being the Christ, knowing his divinity, Jesus was able to do all manner of wondrous things. And he said, "He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do." And he meant all of us. All right. There's a whole lot in here. And let's start with the article. Let's start with the. Jesus, because frequently we call him Jesus Christ. But technically, Grace is correct. He is Jesus the Christ. Because his name was, Ben Yosef, son of Joseph. He was Jesus, Ben Yosef, son of Joseph. And so the Christ is a title. And the Christ is a title because the Christ is Jesus. And in here, Grace is talking about giving up his humanity. He gave up, well, not his humanity. That's a different story. He gave up his human life. Okay. And honestly, I'm not sure, there's speculation that he got married and had kids. He would not have been permitted to be a proper Jewish rabbi if he hadn't gotten married and, gotten married. So, but that's a whole nother discussion that we can have some other time. But he so fully embraced the Christ consciousness that, he left a little bit of his humanity on the table. He was still human. And this is where we get into, I think this is where we get into trouble with Jesus, because Jesus was willing to sacrifice a lot of his human life to do what he did. He was willing to go all in. And most of us, when it comes to that Christ behavior, want to keep one foot out the door. We're not sure. We're not sure that we are willing to fully commit to what Jesus is asking, what God is asking us to do to take on the Christ mantle. Because it is a huge sacrifice, We have limited stories about Jesus, and I think we only see him lose his temper twice. And then, so, there's a whole lot, and you see him take a lot of, I don't want to use that word, but you know which word like people are constantly coming up to him and trying to trick him and trying to trip him up and trying to prove that he's not who and what he says he is. And just in the face of that, and he never goes out of his way to prove who he is. He just gets on with the work, and that's so. Being asked to take on that level, most of us are like, so we're unwilling to fully commit. We're unwilling to, as Jesse calls it, what Emma's talking about, hardball metaphysics. We're unwilling to step all the way through that door because we're not sure. Well, one, we've been told we're not worthy. And two, maybe it's just that our faith isn't strong enough, But I think a large degree does come down to the fact that we've been told, we're not worthy. So many of the Christian religions have made Jesus out to be the exception, not the example. They tell us that we're sinners and that they tell us that we're not worthy. And then they want us to follow this exception. It's like, well, be like Jesus, but you can't. So, and so many people just don't even try, so many people don't even try. And what Grace is telling us, it's like, look, what he in faith believing was willing to walk all the way through that door. Can we do any less? Can we do any less? Because at least we're not being asked to give up our lives. We're not being asked to give up our lives to prove a point. Now, when we profess this kind of stuff, the Pharisees are going to come for us and they are going to ask us questions and they are going to try and trip us up. Because they like their comfortable lives the way that they are. And Jesus asks us to live an uncomfortable life. He asks us to step out of what we think we're capable of and into the possibilities. And that's scary. And I freely admit that. It's scary. So, Jesus attained the consciousness that prevented him to perform the works of God on earth in and through a human body. Being the Christ, knowing his divinity, Jesus was able to do all manner of wondrous things. And she says, he that believeth on me. And it's like, you don't have to believe in Jesus. You have to believe in the Christ. You have to follow Jesus' example and believe in the Christ and believe that you are just as worthy of the Christ consciousness as Jesus is. And he told us how to do it. Love. Love. And I like to say love recklessly. Spend love recklessly. Love everyone always. And he didn't say you had to do it up close and personal. I believe that he would believe in, some safe distance, love. But he didn't beat around the bush. You gotta love. And you gotta take care of the needs of the people in front of you. Whatever they are. That's why he fed the 5,000. That's why he raised the dead. That's why he healed the sick. He took care of the needs of the people in front of him. And he never turned anybody away. He never turned anybody away. Because he understood that everyone's worthy. So, all right, Grace. You made me go there. So, her first statement is, we are only now beginning to understand what is meant by the divinity of people. At last, we are recognizing a divine plan, a divine power, a divine seed of perfection in every living being. So, Jesus was able to realize this principle and express it, and to become in such a way he was able to absolutely do God's will. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to realize this principle and express it. To realize the Christ principle, to realize that you come pre-installed with the Christ consciousness, and to express it. And how do you do that? Well, like I said, love. What is it that you do in love? That is how. Every time you do any act in love, you are expressing the Christ consciousness. So do more of that. That's the mission today. To realize that you already got it and just express a little bit more today. And tomorrow, express a little bit more. Anytime you do an act of love, and this does include what we call tough love, then you are activating the Christ consciousness. All right. Right? Do you agree? Foster's just sitting there going, okay, whatever. All right. Yeah. Therefore, you've got your mission. The second mission, which ironically falls into this one, is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Because kind and compassionate are still love. And in that, you are expressing that Christ consciousness. So, same mission. Yeah. Sorry. I usually say, give you suggestions on how to, it can be one thing, it can be three things, it can be all the things. That's ultimately my goal, is that you create a habit of love, kindness, and compassion so that everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate. And by practicing it, then you are responding instead of reacting. And what's the difference between a response and a reaction? A moment of thought. When you respond, you have a thought out response. When you react, well, that's great. The good news is if you practice love, kindness, and compassion until it becomes a reaction, well, then your response and your reaction are the same thing. And it's possible. It is possible. And I give you basic suggestions. Take a deep breath before you speak, especially to yourself. Drink plenty of water. Yeah, that's a loving, kind, and compassionate thing. I would say that is a Christ-like thing for you. Take a walk, take a nap, take a break. Okay? The human equivalent of turning yourself back on and off. There are so many more suggestions than that, but I don't want to belabor the point. You know what is loving, kind, and compassionate. You get to practice on yourself because you're your own best test subject. Is this the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do? Well, yes. Great. Carry on. No. Well, then what do you need to do to change it? Okay. And one of my things, I say eat dessert first. And I say it because I do believe chocolate is the first step to fixing anything. But more importantly than that, it's a reminder we don't know how long we've got. Rosalind Carter passed today, and I believe Jimmy Carter will be hard on her heels. He didn't want her to live in a world without him. I'm not sure he's going to want to live. So don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. Write the nice notebooks. Burn the nice candles. Eat the good food. Wear the fancy clothes. Use the good china and silverware and what have you. Don't wait for a special occasion. Make the occasion special. Ooh. Don't wait for a special occasion. Make the occasion. I need to write that down. Just like I say, go out of your way to make the ordinary extraordinary more often. Pick a random Tuesday and go for it. All right. I'm going to stop my hamster wheel here and remind you also that joy is a quality of God. Therefore, joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for it. That can be by bringing up a favorite memory. That can mean calling somebody who is joyful and makes you happy. It can be cuddling with a fur baby. Whatever it is that brings you joy, please make sure you do that every day. Every day. No matter what is going on in the world in your life, you still deserve joy. That is how we make a world that works for everybody, by making sure that we are capable of being joyful. Especially now, because as we head further into the holiday season, people become less and less joyful. So, yeah, we get, and they do it for a variety of reasons. So, bring your joy. Bring your joy. Okay. Yeah. The rest of the suggestions are basic, Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. It wasn't raining, so we got the bike ride in. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better. Your body works better. Your skin looks better when you're well hydrated. Also, get that early in your day bright light. I did get a hair of sun. The clouds have now come in, and we've got a front coming, and it's going to drop us into the 40s, and I'm kind of excited about that. And then not, so there we are. So, yeah, take care. So bundle up and take care of your plants. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, get that. If you can't get the 5 to 10 minutes of bright light between 7 and 9 in the morning, artificial light will work. So if you get up before or after, because of your schedule, artificial light will help too. What you want is 5 to 10 minutes of concentrated bright light. And I think it's blue light. So, bright light. Okay. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. It's just like the Christ consciousness. Heaven isn't a place we have to get to, just like the Christ isn't a person. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Okay? I talk about the Christ consciousness like it's software. Well, this is the same thing. Heaven is consciousness. When we look around the world and we realize that it's all God, and that we are dealing with beloved children of God, then it should rock us back on our heels. And we should look around the world and go, oh, and then we'll make different choices. We can't help but not make different choices. But then that will also, when we realize that, then we realize that heaven can be any place. And that's when it moves from a state of grace to a superpower, okay? Heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. You can have it here. Now, once you leave this life, that's between you and spirit. But it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And that's what a lot of the monks say. You want to get to heaven? Live in it now. And then when you hit that particular event, where else are you going to go? Because you already know where it is. So, all right. I don't want to get all maudlin there. So, yeah. I think I'm at the part. Oh, well, I'm going to remind you, because we're talking about the heavenly state of mind, a heavenly state of consciousness. Take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice, look for the good and praise it. Count your blessings. Count your blessings, people. It's been interesting to watch people say, have a blessed day. And it used to set my teeth on edge. And now I'm like, no, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. They're wishing you the best. So, and it's up to you to count your blessings. What blessings, what are the blessings in your life? Who are the blessings in your life? That's another question. And science will back you up on that, back us up on that. The best way to change a grumpy mood, gratitude, counting your blessings, random acts of kindness, volunteer service. All right. Where am I? I'm at the part where I get to remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. There are hours of content on the YouTube channels. There are hours of content on the Facebook channels, and the Instagram is somewhat active, but eventually I will do better. I was really good, and then Facebook, as Facebook does, made it difficult. So, all right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Oh, no, that's not where I am. Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact if you want to know what's going on with the center. Okay. And there are hot links that'll take you to our YouTube channel. So, right. And now I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, amazing day, an awesome day, a practice your divinity day, a recognize the divine seed of perfection day, a practice your Christ consciousness day, a loving day, a kind day, a compassionate day, the weather's changing day, a prepare to bundle up day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough. Just as you are, you're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. She said that. You're God in action. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're godly. All right. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved always. And I will see you next time.